Okay, here we go. She wanted to come visit. She likes looking outside, so we have critters in the backyard. There's like mice, coyotes, um, possums, squirrels, little bunnies, so they get really excited looking out that window. Okay, here we go. We're gonna do the second one. Kind of a long video, so let's just get to it, okay? Here we go. Oops. Oh no, that's good. Okay, so same thing. I'm gonna have to put the work and extend it down onto this sheet of paper because this was supposed to be part 2 and where we GCF, but I realized I'm probably gonna have 4 videos total. I didn't realize how long it takes. Okay, ABC, so let's just get to factory. Remember, we're gonna A times C, find all the possible pairs for the A times C product, okay? So A is 2, B is -1, C is -45. Whoops, wrong way. Okay, so first step, look for GCF. So is there a number that divides into 2, 1, and 45? This is 9 and 5, or 3, 3, and 5. This is 1. This is 1 and 2, so there's no GCF other than 1, so we're not going to do that. Okay, so there's no GCF. Now we're going to move on into the magic X. So A times C is -90, right? What happened to my calculator? Oh. So 2 times 45, 90, right? Okay. And then the B value, -1, right? Okay, so now we're going to find all the possible pairs that make up 90. We're going to have quite a bit, okay? So I'm going to write them off to the side here. Okay, we have 1 and 90. That's obvious, right? 90 divided by 1. Okay, 90 divided by 2. And some of you might be very quick at finding 3 and 30, finding your pairs or locating. That's right. Remember, when it's a fraction, it's a no-go. Finding your pairs. And that's great. You are not required to list all the possible pairs. But again, it does get you acquainted with all the numbers, that it does help. And then you start seeing patterns. 9 and 10. Okay, so there you go. That's it. That's all of them. All right. Okay, so these are also all the possible pairs from 2 numbers that become 90 when multiplied. So 1 times 90, 2 times 45, 3 times 30, 5 times 18, 6 times 15, 9 times 10. Okay, so now we look at the signs. Okay, 90 is negative again. So that means one number is positive and one number is negative, because a positive times a negative gives me a negative, right? We'll multiply together. Okay, now because 1, my B value, right, -1, because that number is negative, that means my bigger value, or my leftover, is negative. So my negative value will be the bigger number, my positive value will be the smaller number, right? Okay, so here we go. We're going to be subtracting, right? Because if the signs are opposite, we're going to subtract. So 90 take away 1 is 89. Nope. 45 take away 2 is 43. 30 take away 3 is 27. 18 take away 5 is 13. 15 take away 6 is 9. 10 take away 9 is 1. And that's our pair, right? So 9 and 10. Now, because 10 is negative, this will be negative, 9 will be positive, right? And so you can check on a calculator. 9 times -10 gives me -90, check. And then 9 take away 10 is -1. So check. So I have both of these satisfied, okay? All right, moving on. Okay, so now the third step is make your quadratic, your 3 terms, and make it 4 terms by expanding out the bx term. So instead of -1x, I'm going to replace it with 9x and -10x. And so I get 2x squared plus 9x minus 10x minus 45, and then equals 0. Oh, sorry, I wasn't aligned for you. Yes? Okay, so now the next step is, it says to split into two terms and GCF. So what did I use, the pink marker? Okay, so I'm gonna split the two terms, and I'm going to GCF the left and GCF the right two terms, right? Okay, so now we're gonna look at our coefficients, 2 and 9. Okay, what is divisible into the number 2 and 9? Well, the factors of 2 are 1 and 2, and the factors of 9 are 1 and 9. So it's just 1, right? And if you want to write the 1, you can. Otherwise, you can just leave it off. Okay, now we got to look at our x's. We have 2 x's and 1 x, so I can only take 1 x out. And now what is left over, right? So you're going to divide and you're going to subtract. So 2 divided by 1 is 2. 9 divided by 1. Oh, wait, my x's. I have 2 x's. Take 1 away, x. Now the next, 9 divided by 1 is 9. I have 1x, take it away. That's it, right? And like I said before, they're always going to be the same. If you make a mistake, the marker fell on the floor, so the camera's going to move. I need to grab it without moving it too much. Okay, remember, they are always going to match. So if you have this, and you're positive you did it correctly, that is what will be your factor after you GCF on the right two terms. Okay, so I know that this better be 2x plus 9, otherwise I made a mistake. Okay, so let's look. It's negative 10. I have to pull out the negative. Whenever this is negative, you got to pull out that negative. Okay, 10 and 45. This is 5 and 2. This is 5 and 9. So I can remove a negative 5. So negative 10 divided by negative 5 is 2x. Negative 45 divided by negative 5 is positive 9. And notice they do match. They are the same. Okay, so now you're going to go ahead and GCF this binomial factor that exists in this GCF factor and in this GCF factor. So 2x plus 9. And then your other will be, hold on, let me match this. Okay, so this came from these two, right? That's where you just bring it down. And then these two GCF are going to make up your other binomial factor. Okay, so 1x, you can write 1x or you can just write x minus 5. Okay, now this answer is your factored form answer. So if the directions told you to just factor the quadratic, then this is enough. But it's not enough because it says to solve the quadratic by factoring. So we factored, but now we have to solve it. And so by solving it, you need to take this and you need to perform the zero product property. And the zero product property states, I'm just rewriting it. You're going to set each of the binomial factors equal to 0. So I will get a 2-step equation here, and I will get a 1-step equation here to solve. Okay, and so now you're going to go ahead and solve it, right? This is old math. Very much review. 9/2, that's 1, right? So far so good. We're almost there. And I know these are a bit of work. And there's your others. And so you are done. This is beautiful. You solved. It's gorgeous. I love it. There you go. So it's all this work. There are no shortcuts. Obviously, if you can do it mentally, you can come up with the numbers very quickly. Yes, but in terms of your math classes and assessments, we need to see step by step because you are moving on in mathematics and we build off of it. So you have to have these GCF factoring skills so that you can understand what your IM3 teaches. Your IM3 teacher teaches you next year. That was kind of a tongue twister for me. Okay, here we go. I'll stop it and then I'm going to go ahead and do the GCF ones. Okay, here we go.